are targeted at Corn more so than any other player in the entire LPL. Also, inSec is the second most banned on their team with both Rengar and Lee Sin. So we'll see what the second ban is. It's probably going to either go to Corn or to inSec here.
And the thing about inSec is once you ban Lee Sin and Rengar, or at least you remove them from him, he falls back to like Java and maybe a Kha'Zix here, but he's not as good as he is on like Lee Sin and Rengar, where he can really set up the fights because he's he's action first, think later jungler, as Monte Cristo pointed out here. He wants to be the guy who starts the fight here, and the team better follow.
I think that one reason this Rengar is such a good ban against inSec is because when you pop Rengar's ult and you get that infrared vision, it actually gives him more information on when not to go in, and he actually gets a warning system there.
But does it stop him? Does it actually stop him? Not every single time.
So we see the Rengar banned away, but no Lee Sin ban there. And actually inSec deciding this time around that he's going to go for Kha'Zix. They also took out Ryze there, did Royal Club. On the other side, it was a first pick Lucian actually coming out for bebe.
So this is pretty funny because Ryze is normally not a very used pick by Royal Club here. We have seen it a few times in mid lane. Cola didn't actually play it in top lane before right now, if it's gonna go for him in the top lane. So really mixing up the things here, also Kha'Zix for inSec instead of the Lee Sin.
Yeah, I think that is going to be another mid lane rise here for Corn. He has done that a lot recently, but really I want to go back to the first round pick from Taipei Assassins. They steal away Uzi's favorite champion, the Lucian. They said that they were very scared of him. They're probably going to target him. They already did it right in the first round of picks.
And it's really been like his most played champion because Lucian is such a good pick in China, where there's a lot of early mid-game action, and of course Lucian shines in the laning phase, a strong laning phase, great mid-game as well, and you can be really, really aggressive here. So smart choice, but taking it away from Uzi. I still want a little bit about this Lee Sin. I really want to see what inSec can do on Kha'Zix.
Well, Lee Sin for wins, but want to touch on that Janna pick because we've been hearing a lot that Janna is going to be a big, big pick in the World Championships this year.
So, Janna, she gives the move speed from her passive still, but it is restricted to 1,000 range. So that really is helpful when you're going around warding with somebody like Lee Sin. That very important jungle and support synergy will be there.
So the big deal for me with Janna is you want to have disengaged when you play against a team like Royal Club because they want to fight, they want to be aggressive, they want to force you into bad situations where you have to react instantly. When you have Janna, you can ulti, you can reset the whole fight here, and then you can back away and you can choose when you actually want to go in if you want to team fight here. So I really like disengage against Royal Club.
Plus, we can also look to see if they take a page out of Shield's book and go with the early Bloodthirster for Lucian to do the shield stacking with that Janna-Lucian combo. Very interesting pickup.
On the other side, we actually saw Orianna locked in here for Corn. That's by far and away his most played champion this year. 16 games played, and it has a 12-4 record. And while we're on Royal Club side there, Nami also locked in. Big, strong picks coming out for Royal Club.
Yeah, and Zero has really been a great support for Royal Club. I mean, obviously he's from Korea, transferred over with inSec as well, and he's just been performing so well with Uzi down his bottom lane. And Nami he's one of the few supports also in China who actually likes to play Nami, who likes to play the disengage style. So I really like the pick. Also, if Royal Club gets a 2v2 lane here, because you have Nami into Janna, it's going to be great for Royal Club. So they're going to look for standard lanes. You also want to have your Ryze against Dr. Mundo up in the top lane here. So I expect Royal Club to go in level 1, try and get some wards down, spot where TPA is going, and make sure to get standard lanes. They have great lanes all around, and actually a very, very teamfight focused comp here. Not as early aggressive stylish as we sometimes see from Royal Club, but definitely around the mid lane, also the jungle pick, where inSec won't be able to start the fights himself, but now he can get the ball on at least from Orianna, and then he can go in.
And speaking of Orianna, we can also talk about Syndra there locked in as well for Taipei Assassins. What do we think to that one?
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting pick there for Morning because it is a little bit out of character, you know.
Yeah.
He'll have a lot more kill potential than we're used to seeing from him.
Well, guys, as these two teams prepare to go head-to-head, we'd like you to turn to Twitter and let us know who you think will win this match. Tweet us using the hashtag TPAWin or SHRWin to @LOLesports, and we'll figure out exactly how you think that one's going to go down. 50-50 was the LOLesports.com vote. Do we agree with a 50-50 here?
I would put Royal as their favorite, but I really feel like TPA is a strong team, and they I mean, we're playing here in Taipei. If they want to beat Royal Club, or if they can beat Royal Club, they can take number 1 in the group because Royal Club TSM, I'm not sure who's the strongest. We're going to see later on. If they can beat one of them, why not both?
Well, we are about to get into the game then. Both Royal Club and the Taipei Assassins going to show us exactly what they've got coming into their first match of the 2014 World Championships. TPA, of course, starting out here on the blue side, and we heard it earlier, a possible 6th member of the team being on home soil.
So again here, looking at the combo over on TPA's side, you do have the Lucian Janna. That's great for sieging towers here, great for at least killing them once you get close enough, where Orianna can be a bit annoying for Lucian with the range nerfs down to 500 now, so it's a bit harder for him to siege up towers. But you do have the Syndra, extra range, you have the backup stun as well, you have the disengage potential for her. So TPA can look to try and fast push some towers here, but there's a lot of wave clear on the side of Royal Club, so they should be able to keep them away.
So we talked a little bit about the bottom lane matchup, but one thing we didn't talk about at all is the fact that Uzi decided to go with Caitlyn this time around, a champion that he actually this year has a 100% win record on. Only 3 games played though. What do we think to Caitlyn?
Yeah, so the last time that they used Caitlyn, it was in combination with the Janna for the early pushing of the turrets, which worked really well against OMG. But this time around, with the Nami and being matched up against Lucian, we'll see how he can take advantage of the extra range for Caitlyn in this laning matchup. If they do stay down there in the 2v2s, then Uzi can actually use that to get a big upper hand onto Lucian. With Lucian being changed down to a 500 range AD carry, we'll see about that. This deep ward, though, looks like TPA won't fall into that trap.
Instantly, you just see Mundo move down to this bottom lane here because TPA, they want to make sure they get the lane swap. So nice little ward down in the lane to see if anyone from World Cup was standing and waiting. Of course, Uzi was down the bottom lane. Decided to get a few hits on Jay as well to really show TPA, yes, I am here. You can swap your Mundo down. You can get your 1v2. So we are going to see the lane swap. Does mean TPA will give up the dragon control, but it's all about just dodging around this bottom lane here.
And they're going to get free reign on that one. We can see that Achie actually sticking with wins from the start of this one. Obviously, would have a tough time if he was to go down into that 2v1. Kohler doing pretty much exactly the same here as he follows inSec on that red buff start. This mid lane going to be a big one to watch. As we said, Morning, not the type of player that usually goes for these very aggressive mid laners. He prefers generally those more utility, supporty type mid laners.
Well, that mid lane will be isolated more so than usual. They just really have to watch out for the roaming double ganks there, and maybe even 3-man ganks when the supports come. But really, I want to point out the difference in style in the lane swap here. Starhorn Royal Club, they're quickly shoving down bottom. They waste no time. Whereas TPA are trying to freeze up top. And this is really the two mentalities of these two AD carries. bebe likes to farm up for the late game. Uzi always likes to get the action going very early. So we'll see if Starhorn Royal Club knocking down an early turret, if they can take advantage of the extra map movements they'll be able to make.
And what should happen here is actually TPA should make sure that Achie down this bottom lane, or send him down to this bottom lane so he can start picking up some farm. Because when you fast push in a lane swap, you will never build up a big wave. It means it's harder to dive, and at the same time, you can zone away and deny CS from a top lane because you will constantly push it in. So I really feel like TPA should have sent both Achie and Wins down towards this bottom lane.
Corn Zone is solo invade.
This could be really, really bad for him actually. Getting caught out here, has to flash back towards his turret. There's the stun going in. Ignite goes down as well. And it's first blood for the Taipei Assassins.
So the first rule of lane swapping is that you do not go to the side of the map where your opponents have the duo lane.
Honestly, I think Korn was like expecting Achie to be down towards this bottom lane. I didn't expect him to be in the top side. So he just walked straight in. Didn't even place the ward beforehand. He also picked up the sweeper for him, but he walked straight into 2 people. And funny enough, I've actually seen him do this before, where he will place his ward, at least walk to the wrong side in a lane swap, and be caught by surprise, end up dying.
There's a TP actually coming down into his bottom lane, so Achie will come down, get himself some farm. We'll also have the backup of Jay. Funnily enough, we also see Wins moving in, but Royal Club are actually moving down there as well. They're going to come around the backside, and if you look at the minimap, not actually spotted by any wards at this point. Wins just there doing his golems, but it looks like Royal Club are actually just going to loop around. That's a decent little bubble over the top of the wall from Zero, but we'll see what Achie can get here in terms of farm. Is ahead of Ryze at this point. as Win starts to move himself in, we'll finally get vision of them.
So we do actually see TPA sending down Achie to this bottom lane. Make sure we can pick up some farm. It's much smaller. Be bad for TPA because 4 members from Royal Club moving out to spawn. They want to kill the tower first and then go for the kills.
Well, they're going to have to back away here, TPA. 4 men from Royal Club will make sure that the first turret of this game, maybe on the next wave at this point, will be going down. Achie and Jay have decided to actually stick around from this one, try and soak up that little bit of extra XP as it comes on through, but that turret is going to be going down and Royal Club will pick up the first one of the game here just over 5 minutes in.
Importantly, TPA do have a ward in the back of this Dragon Pit, so they'll see this start off, but Lee Sin is way too far away. They cannot contest this. Maybe if they had people in position and Wins was there, they could run him off, but they're doing it really quickly here.
They have to get there now. Morning is level 5, he doesn't have ulti yet, but just by showing himself placing the pink ward, Royal Club knows they're taking too much damage from the Dragon here. They just have to back away. So it pays off for Wins. He went into the Wolf camp a little bit greedy, not staying around this bottom side of the map in case the Dragon was started. But TPA got it under control here. They have the first blood. Lost the bottom tower though, and not looking to push the top one because bebe, he's already gone. He want to go back down to this bottom lane and pick up some farm.
Yeah, it was good early warding by TPA. That ward in the back of the Dragon Pit definitely paid off for them, and they were able to stop the Dragon from going down. But really, it is going to be about that bottom turret being down. How can Starhorn increase their control on this red side jungle?
So normally when we see inSec playing like Lee Sin and Rengar, he loves to focus the bottom lane and get Uzi ahead. And now when you have a lane where the tower's already gone, it would open up if we go like 10 minutes into the game now for Uzi, oh sorry, for inSec to come down to this bottom lane, try and catch them in the middle of the lane and get a few kills. He won't really be able to do the same on the Kha'Zix and might look actually to sit and farm a bit more now, so he can become very strong in these team fights. Because Royal Club, from the start, because we had the lane swap, not been able to have the same early game pressure as we sometimes see in the LPL.
And if Royal Club do not move Uzi to another one of these outer turret lanes, then they're going to have to spend a lot of money warding up down here because it would be very dangerous for them to return. Right now, headed up top though, to try and punish the early Mundo. Not much that Mundo can do. He has very little wave clear.
Archie's still level 4 in there as well. Caller just hitting level 5, as does Uzi with that minion going down. So Achie going to be forced to retreat back onto his tower. Nami's actually headed up towards that top side as well, which might mean that Achie has to completely back away or risk being dove here.
But this is exactly what Royal Club did last time they played Caitlyn. It was against OMG. They kill the bottom tower, they fast push it in the lane swap, and instantly Uzi just swaps to top lane. Zero joins in, they take the next tower. And then it's all about the mid lane, because they want to get all these outer turrets down so they can start putting in some deep wards and spotting out where TPA is moving, and then they can start looking for some picks.
TPA trying to answer back though. bebe makes the call to shove in bottom lane so that they can then try and gain control of this Dragon Pit. So many resources spent top for Royal Club. 3 people up there. TPA does a good job of recognizing this, takes advantage of the other side of the map, trades global gold. They're staying calm, and they've got the lead now.
Yeah, so they got the Dragon here. Smart move, but Royal Club actually doesn't care. They just want the towers down as fast as possible. It's the reason they picked this Caitlyn here, for the early pressure on towers. They're already pushing down now here. Archie's left alone. 2v1. They might be able to get a bit of damage on the tower because Wins is running from base now.
Moving back into that one, we do have a few wards down, but funnily enough, Royal Club are actually deeper than the line of wards that have been put down there by the Taipei Assassins, and we can see with that blue buff spawn, it's already been started here by Uzi and Zero. We do have Morning and Achie coming around the side. Stun won't quite connect onto the champion. Blue buff is very low, and it does go over to Morning, so successful defense of that buff.
They did defend the buff, but now it's going to be a move from Royal Club to the mid lane, the last outer turret standing. They will continue with this sort of full court press style that they're known for. They continually keep up the pressure, and that's why we don't see a lot of Ryze from them. He doesn't have a lot of time to ramp up before they start forcing these fights. We'll see if they actually have Cola join the team pretty much they're going to try and maneuver him on the side lanes now, while it's a 4-man early shove, and then just try and have Ryze soak up side lane experience, making use of that teleport to go from bottom to top, wherever the big minion waves are.
And we often see with Royal Club, Cola, he's the guy who's split pushing. Like, he loves to play Jax, he loves to play Aurelia, where he can actually split push and take down towers by himself. Ryze, he's going to be fairly strong in one-on-one, but he's not exactly the guy who walks up and kills the towers here. So it's going to be all about him getting a lot of farm in the side lanes, and then he joins in for these team fights here. We might see him TP behind and try and flank around.
Yeah, it's a good adaptation to incorporate Ryze into this comp, because he's not going to be able to split push. Ryze doesn't take turrets down well, but he does soak up side lane farm very
and he
well.
loves it, man. Get the Ryze to late game, and he will be an absolute monster. inSec down this bottom lane. He's not spotted by any wards, and this is what I talked about just before. inSec, he loves to come down to this bottom lane, especially when the tower is gone, and just look for kills here. Possibly a counter gank once it's already gone.
It's going to be about the bubble here, though, and if we look at the AD carry items, there's a BF sword difference, despite the fact that bebe is ahead in CS, and we can see them now actually recalling from that one, realizing that you can't really match up to the power there of Uzi, especially if a bubble were to land, and Zero must be close to hitting that level 6 point as well, where his tidal wave would come into effect. Mid lane stayed a little bit quiet these last few moments, but it's Morning that's got a big advantage. He's headed up towards his top lane now. Ryze already starting to back away.
This is the danger if you're trying to soak up on all these side lanes with a squishy early game Ryze. He's very, very diveable. They make the call to back off, though, because there's a lot of pressure headed mid here. Starnhole Royal Club looking to group up.
Mr. Bingo here, they are pinging it, so they want to kill, but they also need to get into this mid lane. Notice how Uzi and Zero know they can't go mid lane as long as Morning is there to wave clear. To see a small fight, never mind. But as long as Morning is in the mid lane, he can sit there and wave clear, which means Uzi couldn't really fast push the tower after he took down the top one. But as soon as Morning moved from this mid lane, Uzi ran in there, he'd already shoved up bottom lane, and he wanted to see if he can get some damage on the tower.
Pretty much identical builds between the AD carries and the mid laners at this point.
Look at
Both
TP
of them going
lane.
up towards the Athenes. Are they going to be able to get into this one? And in the end, Kohler actually deciding against it.
Yeah, that's really going to cost them, since they were trying to have him sort of play the defense here. Looks like that move down there from Korn to soak up and stop the push from bebe is going to buy them some time, but they have stalled it out a little bit here.
It was a bit of an aggressive move, though. Cole actually wanted to teleport down and try and gank bebe to kill him, because a lot of TPA's playstyle is built around bebe. Like, he's the shot caller, he's the captain, and he's often the guy they look to, like the guy they want to have to carry the late game. Lucian won't be a hyper carry like we normally see, like Tristana is a big pick for bebe here. Still a great late game carry, and we'll continue to look for him to do well, get him to team fights where he can start carrying, and also why we saw Royal Club thinking about shutting him down or trying to shut him down.
TPA just trying to set up a bit of a trap there. They know that both Uzi and Zero were hanging around this middle lane, but actually Zero had already recalled and was on his way back out of the base, so nothing really open to them. We do have a Dragon coming up in 1.5 minutes time. Up until now, it's TPA that have got the wards down around that area of the map. We'll see if that continues, though, as two men go down bottom there for Royal Club. And it looks like we're going to be seeing that 2v2 once again in action. Is inSec here going to get the slow? Actually flashes in there for the extra damage, and Achie is not going to be able to get away from this one. It's inSec that picks up a kill.
Nice little setup here. There was a ping ward from Royal Club in the bush, so he could move at least close enough before he got spotted by the ward, and it was too late for Achie up in his top lane to react. End up dying. He will respawn before the Dragon. He does have teleport ready as well. Down his bottom lane, who's taking a lot of damage from bebe.
bebe not scared there to get his hands dirty, and that may just free up a lot of damage on towards this tower. There is the culling coming out. That'll get rid of pretty much half a minion wave. But it looks like Royal Club have done enough to keep them back, at least for now.
And notice the level difference here between bebe and Uzi. It's simply because Uzi has been pushing these towers with multiple members from his team, where bebe, he was just in the top lane alone, freezing it, getting a lot of experience here. So he's ahead, he's doing a lot of damage now. It's going to be very important for this potential Dragon fight.
Well, tower's going down. I'm not sure the Royal Club should have stuck around for this one. Uzi the focus. Exhaust goes down. He flashes over the wall. bebe is going to dash in there. One more auto attack will do it. But inSec comes around. Monsoon is running. Bubble comes down. Is inSec going to be able to get away? There's the knock-up. Goes down as well. Korn now at less than half. Zero. Kohler. Both the left and half. Winds go through. And that is a 4
huge swing for TPA. That turret going down and bebe following up. The level advantage pays out big. They're able to get the kill, snowball into several pickups. That's not only going to be the turret, it's going to be the dragon. Big boost here for TPA. Giant mid-game power spike.
Beautiful play there, and just notice how every single member from TPA rushed to this bottom lane. Let's just see it again. Your tower goes down, shield already from Jay onto bebe, doing a lot of damage to him. Notice that, level 10 to level 8. Uzi flashes, it's not enough. bebe can chase, finish him. Now the important part, the first ulti from Jay actually missed inSec, so he won't get to knock him away, but he's just healing bebe and trying to make sure he can stay alive.
Corn flashed for that Sombrero ult, by the way.
Well, that was inSec.
So inSec, they're able to get a kill here while watching the replay, but man, the missed shockwave from Corn there really hurt them. Morning came in and he barely missed that Syndra stun, but that didn't hurt them nearly as much as the missed shockwave. I have to say too, that was some fairly greedy play by Uzi, sticking around the turret that was only a couple hits left from going down.
And we were talking before the World Championship started, the great thing about watching these Chinese teams, that from what sometimes seems like a 2v2, all of a sudden becomes a 5 versus 5 as they get into the action so quickly. But TPA really matching them here on that one, coming out big and now lead this game close to a 3,000 gold lead, 5-4 up in kills. Behind slightly here in turrets, they've got a 4-0 on wins here on Lee Sin, showing against the opposite number, inSec, who famed, of course, for that Lee Sin play, that he can certainly bring this one out big. Morning getting himself another blue buff there as well.
And really what we are seeing is the whole plan from TPA coming to fruition finally here. One of the reasons why people stopped fast pushing the turrets down was because of the option to freeze the other side lane. And TPA did that. They sat on all of the extra experience and gold that they were going to feed into bebe, and then finally brought it down to the bottom lane for the second dragon.
And the fact TPA has Syndra sitting in the mid lane to wave clear is simply meant that the whole idea from Royal Club with like taking down all the outer turrets as fast as possible, it failed because they couldn't push the mid lane. Morning was sitting there, he could just constantly wave clear it. He played it very safe in the laning phase. If he had died just once, instantly Uzi would have been in mid lane, killed the tower here. He played it really wisely. Kept wave playing, top lane, going down.
Yeah, quick reactions here from TPA, seeing there was no one top, seeing the gathering, maybe you could say, of Royal Club in that middle lane, pushing straight up there, leveling out the turret score. And as I said before, 4,000 gold is not too far away here for the Taipei Assassins, and looking very good. And we heard the crowd after that last fight,
yes,
really getting pumped up here, and that's something that you can never really count out. TPA looking very good in their first game.
And I really wonder here what Royal Club is actually thinking about, because normally, once they actually do fall behind, they will keep being very aggressive and like try and fight you, and it will often backfire because they are so far behind. So they're not really a good team at coming back into games here. And they don't have inSec on a playmaking jungler. They don't really have Uzi, at least for now, for the next 15 minutes on Caitlyn, where he really needs to stack up items before he gets to a late game and he becomes a hyper carry. He won't be able to go in and solo kill people either. So the two playmakers, inSec and Uzi, are not able to go in alone and start something. Which means TPA, as long as they play safe, stick together as a unit, they will be able to win.
Well, I think one of the biggest problems for Starhorn Royal Club here is going to be Achie towards this late game. He's facing the double solo lane AP from Royal Club, already got his Spirit Visage done. He is going to be very hard for them to take down. Talking about inSec and Uzi, it's going to be up to them.
Oh, stun onto Corn. This tower going to be focused here by TPA, and I don't think the Royal Club can actually hang on to this one. That'll be turret number 3. The outer ring is now gone, and you can see instantly with that TPA saying, right, your outer turrets are gone. We're going to take
Ryze.
the jungle as well. Ryze also getting, he got into the brush there, I think, just before they caught sight of him. The wards go down, though, and this is where we'll really see how well TPA can turn this lead into a possible victory. We know them as a team that sometimes take their time to win games because they do it by the book, and getting the wards down is now the next step for them.
And doing it by the book against a team like Royal Club is just the perfect strategy, because again, they want to fight. They want to get in your face as much as possible. If you slowly take objectives, then you go to the bottom lane 4 members, start pushing in that one to take a tower, and you pressure every single lane, because notice Cola here, he will always go to the side lane to try and pick up some farm, which means he's not there to defend right now. He has to teleport in, so it's all about Uzi or Corn to do the wave there, or to wave clear these lanes, which opens up for TPA to fast rotate between lanes. They have full ward control in this top side or in this bottom side of Royal Club jungle.
All of that vision does come a large part due to their support, Jay, who is also going to make their tower sieges really, really easy as well. Having that Janna ultimate in your back pocket, just in case there's a bad shockwave, is going to make them be able to get up to the turrets very quickly. You can get a shielded double shot off under the turret and slowly take it down very easily. Plus, they have the support of a Syndra long-range stun, one of the best AP champions to have at those tower sieges, because she can hit that CC from out of tower turret range very, very safely.
I would actually like to see TPA just do what they've been doing for the last like 1 minute, split up in these lanes here. You have Mundo keeping a Ryze in check up in the top lane, Syndra sitting in the mid lane before Orianna, and down this bottom lane you do have the dual lanes, and this opens up for wins because the ward control, the vision control is in favor of TPA to then move between the lanes. He can go into mid lane and kick back Corn and set up a very easy kill for Morning, and suddenly once you get 1 kill in either of these lanes, because you split it out Royal Club so much, you will be able to take the tower and break further into Royal Club's base.
So Dragon has spawned in, TPA superior vision on that side of the enemy jungle and in the river. That is going to be a complete freebie for them. Obviously you can call a freebie, I also say earned from the fact that they had that lead taking down the turrets. That's 3 out of 3 dragons now for the Taipei Assassins, and it brings their lead to just over 5,000 gold. 21 minutes into this one. Doing really, really well at this point. The question is, can they turn a lead into a victory against Royal Club?
Well, they have sort of turned their sights towards mid, but the ping back onto blue, that would be pretty big for them. They need to get that for Syndra. Adds a whole lot more pressure in a tower siege. You talked about TPA playing some of their leads out slowly, and they have that luxury right now.
They do, but you don't really want to give Caitlyn too much time to just sit and farm, especially because Caitlyn is fairly weak in the mid game, and you already had the early advantage. You could keep pushing it there and force Uzi into some team fights, which he didn't want to be in before he got some more items. I mean, you normally say Caitlyn needs like 2 items before she really starts scaling up to late game, and Uzi's currently sitting on a seal, just upgrade to stack chase. So he has his 2 items now, can start scaling to late game, and for now, TPA looking towards the top lane. All the wards that in the bottom side of the jungle has ran out, and moving on to
Yep, they've played it by the book. They moved up their ward line. All of their wards almost in Starhorn Royal Club territory right now. They've claimed both sides of the jungle. Swinging up top here, this undefended secondary turret top. They get a lot of damage down here before any response shows up.
Ace in the hole coming through, and Royal Club may be looking for the fight here. They're certainly going to force TPA to back away from that turret here for now, but TPA have all got themselves together. The stun not quite landing there. They were looking to pinpoint Uzi, but looks like Royal Club have done enough now to force TPA to back away from it. But how far are they going to go? They still wait here by that Tribush. Bebe just going to go out there, get rid of the ward. But at least for now, no fight going to come in there.
And they can continue to play it safe like this. Kite back into the areas where they control the vision. Because look at Starhorn Royal Club's composition here. So hard for them to actually get an initiation. Very dangerous. Against a Mundo tank and a Janna who can reset the fight, you really need a great shockwave to pull this one off.
Definitely agree it's going to be hard for Royal Club to actually stop or go kill TPA, but they can keep waveling. We've just seen for the last 5 minutes, Royal Club has been able to sit in the lanes. Wave has barely been any damage from TPA onto the towers here. So Royal Club at least buying some time, and it's still funny to see them play like this, where now they're forced to be defensive and sit and just wave clear their lanes. When they normally are this team who just go for it and dive you and force you into these bad team fights. It's almost like watching European LCS sometimes.
That's definitely something to be said for Royal Club. They haven't forced an issue in something where they've been behind, since sort of this mid game here. They haven't overextended. They didn't chase TPA there, which would have been disastrous for them if they tried to chase that team into
and they couldn't do it with the comp.
Vision.
Like again, this is not a standard Royal Club comp. This is not one where you force all the fights, because you're jungler. Once again, you kind of want to sit and farm. You want to get some items, and of course, Caitlyn. You don't go one-on-one with Caitlyn in the side lane against anyone there. It's that's where you need to pick a Lucian or Vayne.
TPA are looking, you know, towards that late game here. Janna picks up her Medjais, hoping to accumulate a lot of stacks there. Another bonus for having Mundo on your team is it does open up some duo Barons. Mundo's very good at tanking up the Baron in late game. Maybe if they get a lot of vision control on that red side and they can control that entire pathway, then they could sneak something.
Ooh, a lot of damage there onto inSec. In fact, the Ignite taking away. One more would have done it. inSec walks away live, just intact, and there is bebe actually going in, forcing Cola out of lane. He's now got Jay joining in. Next minion wave is coming up. TPA are going to get some damage onto this turret as Winds will join them as well. The rest of the Royal Club, though, are starting to move around here. Can they hold on to his tower? There is a tidal wave coming through, but it's not able to do what they wanted. It was the Banshees actually on Winds that stopped him from being knocked up.
But man, Royal Club is not really reacting fast enough here. They'll let bebe get a lot of damage on the tower. Onto mid lane now. Notice Uzi, he ran from base to bottom lane, but he was too late. And then he realized, oh, I'm in bottom lane now. They're already gone. They're pushing my mid tower, and he's trying to run into wave clear. So Royal Club here reacting way too slow to these pushes from TPA.
And once again, we see another chase here, but there's nothing really they can do to pull the trigger. They don't have a reliable hard engage that they can flip the switch here. It would have to be a very dangerous move, like an inSec jumping in there with invisibility to try and get in position for that shockwave onto bebe.
And that is pretty easy to spot. I mean, unless he's flanking around you and you have absolutely no wards. But because TPA is pushing up all the lanes, they will have wards in the jungle. So inSec, he can flank around. He has to run straight in their face and then jump with the ball. That is pretty easy to spot.
And they're going for a two-man team up once again towards this bottom lane. Again, Royal Club trying to react, but those deeper wards that the Assassins have got down spot inSec coming in. And there is a Howling Gale going over. He knocks inSec up, but there was no follow-through. TPA here not interested really in overcommitting for the fight. They want the towers, and this one is going to be going down. That's tower number 4 for the... No, not quite. Doesn't get taken. And inSec here off to the side will get the slow. Can he actually get in there to start the fight off? There is the ultimate use. And they do have teleport, but just ran away from them. Achie in that mid lane, he should be able to take down this tower on his way through. 4 men from TPA will push bottom back up here, and Royal Club unable to get in here and make anything happen.
We've been over it so many times.
Yes.
Yeah, they just don't have the trigger to pull. They kind of have to hope for TPA to slip up here and go too deep under a turret, but that's not gonna happen.
I mean, inSec tried to actually flank around him, even though he knew they had full vision of him, and then he tried to just land it slow and see if he can catch someone. Not gonna happen here. Even the Janna passive to help speed you up, and this is gonna be another dragon. So TPA been using a few different tactics now to try and get a tower down. We saw them just before he had you with the dual lane in the bottom lane, Winds running between the two lanes, which was what we talked about earlier, and then Morning's hit in the mid lane, push it up, and they did get a lot of damage because Royal Club are not reacting fast enough to these pushes. They're not expecting, okay, where is TPA gonna sit in their dual lane? Where should Uzi be to wave clear fast enough? And therefore there's always a lot of tower damage being taken.
And with Achie pushing that mid lane, the thing that you expect then, especially out of Royal Club, is for them to say, okay, 5 men versus 4 in that bottom lane, kill them off and stop that split push happening. But because of those wards in there, they see them coming every single time, just back off and then push it all the way back in there. TPA now, though, finally actually starting to move a little bit further back on the map. There's a blue buff being picked up for Morning, who now has his Zhonya's Hourglass in, another needlessly large rod as well. Mundo already super tanky with that Spirit Visage, with now the Randuin's Omen in there as well. This is going to be hard for Royal Club to come back if TPA don't make a mistake.
They have defended all of their secondary turrets thus far, though. They have at least been able to hold on to some of their territory. Really what they have to worry about is how are we going to keep TPA from getting complete vision control of our red side jungle and then forcing some sort of action around Baron. TPA can easily take control and then do some baiting.
So Uzi was actually doing red buff here and going back to base, but TPA, because they had no idea where he actually was on the map, didn't really feel like they could just push up, even though this mid tower is very, very low. I mean, it's a few hits from bebe, 2 hits from him, and it's gonna go down here. Same goes for the bottom lane tower. So TPA for now seem to be looking towards this Baron here, but might just want to set up a few wards. So there's the risk on these Royal. They want Royal to believe there's a chance they can take the Baron and then force them away from their towers, away from the safe lanes, out in the open, and then you can team fight.
Right, if you can get that vision line far enough up, then Syndra is one of the best AP champions from Fog of War, easily pulling off picks with her long-range stun.
So, that vision war continues around Baron. We see a ward in the back of the pit from Royal Club, and there is the turret finally in that bottom lane going down. It's once again Achie off on his own, just making sure that he gets those waves pushed up, getting the 4th turret of the game for the Taipei Assassins. Does their focus now turn over towards this Baron? They've got 3 men in there. The sweeper's been very, very effective for them. Achie down on the bottom side, getting a bit of clearage of his own. And if you look at the minimap, especially on the top side, it's all blue wards at this point.
Yeah, so the defensive ping wards here from TPA, they could actually take them and just move them a bit further up here if they really want to start setting up for potential Baron. Deny even more vision in the jungle from Royal Club, because the 2 wards you see just around the mid lane, one of them actually just got moved, thank you very much. Second one they have at the mid lane, just push it further up. Royal Club is not looking to push on TPA for the next 10 minutes. They just want to sit back and farm and avoid TPA picking up a Baron or avoid losing their base. So take these ping wards, move them a bit further up here, deny even more vision from Royal Club, and force them to react, force them away from their lanes into the jungle, and then you can land a Syndra stun, and then you can kill people.
They are doing the greatest job of defending their ward coverage in the red side jungle, though. That every opportunity to force a fight here on the red side jungle, TPA, but Sarna Royal Club did get in there. They cleared out a little bit, and they got a little bit of safety here. 1 ward down into Baron, at least.
Oh, Jay there taking a bit of damage. Wynn's going to get balled, but no immediate danger he had. bebe on the top side there. And once again, the Taipei Assassin saying, you come in and put your wards down, we'll take them straight back out. And to be frank, Zero going to be running out of wards at this point, the amount that he's thrown down the back. There is bebe actually up on the top side. Zero coming across. They're going to try and lock him down here. Tidal Wave going to be dodged away from the bubble. Misses. And bebe says, thank you very much. Use your ultimate and get nothing for it.
That was a very desperate play.
They also have complete vision control. Here's that 2-man Baron we talked about with the Mundo and Lucian. It doesn't go down fast when you do it that way, though.
Goes down very slow. That might be the chance that Royal Club need. Jay just basically trying to body block Zero, stop him coming around from it, using those Howling Gales. We do have inSec moving across the side, though. bebe is down to less than half HP. The Baron here is going to be spotted. TPA just disengage.
And might have even reset like the entire Baron dance we've just seen here. All the ping walls being placed. If TPA backs away from the Baron pit now, it opens up for Royal Club to go in there, clear all the ping wards, buy some more time. For now, they're looking to this mid lane. Syndra is sadly there to wave clear.
But yeah, what can Royal Club really get out of this? They've got 5 people on 3 defending the turret.
They can get a tower.
They back it out. Janna's shield goes down very quickly.
That turret does fall. That's turret number 3 for Royal Club. So they themselves now achieve the outer ring. And what will they do from that one, though, as TPA start to get back in? inSec is going to go up towards the Baron, try and get rid of a few of these pink wards. There are 3 of them around the immediate area of that Baron itself. Cole is up on the top side as well. We do have Uzi there in position as well. So Royal Club here, at least for now, going to clear out some of the vision that TPA had worked so hard for. But with a couple of recalls, they're starting to move in. Shockwave will pull bebe in, but there's no follow-up.
No, but actually also, like if you look down at the items now, smart play by TPA. They know, or they knew, by backing away from the Baron, they will lose all the ping wards instantly. 3 members to support new ping wards, ready to set up for another Baron dance if they want to move in and do it again. I'm not sure why bebe actually did go for Last Whisper as he's the 3rd item here. He could have gone for Bloodthirster. There's not a lot of armor on the side of Royal Club, giving him a lot more damage. Tower pushing potential here, so Last Whisper wasn't really worth it for him as the 3rd item here, but it delayed it for 4th.
Well, right now Royal Club are actually moving down towards the Dragon. That already spawning into the map. Achie down on the bottom side, maybe part of the flank around, but no, we see there 3-man recall. They're giving this one away.
Well, this is that reward for chunking bebe in the mid lane there. He went back to base, and Royal Club, they get another objective here. They're slowly clawing their way back into this game, and this is TPA. This safe sort of style is not paying off for them right now. Every step that you give Starhorn Royal Club back into this game makes it scarier and scarier. They thrive on these Baron fights in the late game. The team fight, you don't want to let them have one of these late game team fights. Uzi now, he's becoming very scary. He's got those Caitlyn items you're looking for. One more damage item on Uzi, and he will be able to shred. He's holding right now over 2,000 gold.
Oh, Ace in the hole comes through. You see it takes almost half of bebe's health away. And bebe pushing out that wave, but it's only going to fall into the hands of Uzi as that one pushes through. We're also seeing more wards going down from TPA, using that scrying orb just to check if anyone was waiting as they once again get those deeper wards down. inSec going to be waiting off to the side. He was actually stood on top of that ward as it went down. And that means that TPA once again get control. They've actually got a minion wave. This is the tower going down. They've done well to actually defend this one. inSec not going to be followed through there. I thought Morning might pull the trigger, decides against it.
Yeah, you can see how risk-averse TPA are. Even though they get one of those long-range stuns on a squishy target, don't overcommit, they just take the turret.
I feel like though TPA needs to decide. Do we want to go 100% for Baron here? Do we want to take all our pink wards and fully focus on denying all the vision from the Royal Club in this top side of the jungle, start up a Baron, or force a team fight advantage? Or should we just come back to what worked before, where we push up every single lane because Morning is so strong in the mid lane and because bebe was so strong in the bottom lane, they could keep pressure on both the bottom lane and the mid lane at the same time. And it paid off in the start. They got the towers really low. They could have kept doing it, killed those 2 towers, instead of dancing around the Baron here for the last 5 minutes where they're basically not been doing anything.
And we do get to the point where you have to start thinking about super, super late game.
Exactly.
Royal Club have way more damage they can bring to the table.
That's the whole point. I mean, you're basically buying time for Royal Club to keep farming up here. They got the last dragon as well. And TPA is not pushing the advantage. And funny enough, when we actually watched the finals between TPA and AHQ, the GPL finals, there were some very, very long games. Even when TPA were far ahead, they would just keep like playing extremely safe, keep picking up objectives here, dancing around the Baron a little bit. And AHQ almost came back in the game. We were like 60 minutes in, and they were a lot of goal behind. Royal Club can't look to do the same because their late game comp is scary. It is so fantastically strong in team fights.
They have Mundo with teleport. They have complete vision control of Baron. They can shove up this lane. They need to create some sort of pressure here. But right now, they've just been wave clearing, picking up the neutral dragons, which, yes, is giving them a nice pot of gold. But slowly but surely, Royal Club come back.
Yeah, and even that last dragon going to Royal Club, their first of the game. Let's see if they can continue that trend here. We go back to what we've been seeing for the last 15, 20 minutes almost, which is just the exchange of wards around this Baron area. We have the Thorn Mail now done, by the way, for Achie, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for Uzi to crack that shell, but TPA again, showing that they're not scared to kind of step forward in the jungle. They're just not using that positional advantage for anything.
They need to be more aggressive. I mean, they need to take Jay, Wind, and Morning, and you just go straight into Royal Club's top side of the jungle. Then bebe up in his top lane. Nobody can one-on-one him from the side of Royal Club. He can push in the lane. You saw him just before in this top lane here. He would kill the minions and then he would back away. He wouldn't risk anything because the rest of TPA were just staying just around the Baron here. So they weren't deep enough to spot if Royal Club were going for a gank here. They need to be more aggressive with the lead they had. They keep starting the Baron. Royal Club can just walk in, ward it. TPA backs away here. And they're not getting deep enough with the wards. They're not playing aggressive enough.
Oh, Jay gonna be caught out. inSec on top of him. Uses the Monsoon as the exhaust was used as well. Tidal Wave will go through without connecting. It's gonna be about a bubble if they can get that one in. Actually, we saw the Ignite use there as a good call. Sit down. The shield comes in. Uzi down low as well. Low health on both sides. No kills though.
There are wards behind Royal Club right now, and there's no teleport coming in from Achie. They don't follow that aggression up. They had 2 people out of the fight here. No teleport up. He decides to stay bottom. He should get some damage on this turret, but there are reinforcements coming.
Well, that's what you'd expect for him to push through, do the damage to the tower, but he did push through, but he didn't do the tower
he
damage. He did come into the fight.
He should have teleported, yes. He should have teleported 100%. We just saw how strong bebe is. Against 2 people, he just chunked them down to no HP in a matter of seconds. TP in from Mundo behind them, and suddenly you have a few kills. You can get your Baron. Now it's Jay again. bebe is here too.
bebe is there. Cola though, and Korn both backing them up there, and inSec trying to get that one started. That's the second time in less than a minute that Jay's been caught somewhat a little bit far up there, and inSec has looked to try and get in and do the damage to him. And again, inSec just sat forward, ready to leap over the wall. There are 3 men there this time though, and that is a bit of a dangerous scenario. He will actually leap away from it, but 4-man push here in the mid lane. Mundo down bottom. He's got TP available. There's no teleport on Cola, so Ryze can't get involved in a fight if that were to kick off.
You can tell TPA are starting to get frustrated without a clear avenue for them to end out this game. Not quite sure what to do. They're just going to run up against these inhibitor turrets. It's really hard to actually breach the inhibitor turrets because those are the ones with the walls that funnel you in to a shockwave, to a flash from Ryze to start something out. If you press all the way up against the inhibitor turret, then that is the small opening there that Royal Club could use to force something.
And now they actually do have some very deep wards, which means now they can start really dancing around this Baron here.
He's going to get the kill here, but Bebe, he's going to go down. There is Wins to follow up. Achie does teleport finally into that fight, but they don't get anything for it. They have to flash into the jump. The slow lands onto Morning, but he instantly flashed as well.
That support for AD. Royal Club now have control. Let's see what the move they're going to go to try and at least gain vision around Baron. It would be dangerous to start this one off, but they're going to rush in.
But how dangerous? They're behind. They've waited so long for this one. They take away the vision, and they're going to sit here with a trap ready and waiting. Will the Taipei Assassins fall from this one? There's a pink ward there at the back. Royal Club know that they're there. There's the ward coming over the top. Taipei Assassins spot them.
Very, very smart play here. So just before, even though there's all the wards, actually never mind. Baron is started by Royal Club now.
Starting it off, Wins is going to come over the top. Pink ward in position. Achie will join into the back. Baron going very, very low. Who's going to be able to get this one? It goes over to Royal Club. Wins going to go low. Picked up in the end with the Uzi kill. Meanwhile, Cola going for Morning. Gets that one. Ace in the hole. We blocked by Achie. Exhaust onto Cola as well. Can't quite get the Rune Prison down. That's going to be a 2-0. And Royal Club getting the Baron.
TPA have control of the Baron pit for over 20 minutes. No Barons committed to. Royal Club have an opening of 20 seconds, and they immediately commit to the Baron. They don't care if it's a smite fight. inSec is able to win the smite fight, and then they wrap around for the kills. Huge pickup for Royal Club.
Simply just TPA didn't manage to push to victory, to be honest. I mean, it's not over yet, by no means. Let's see it again here. So, 4 members from Royal Club. Remember, BB is dead, so it's 0. He's running from base here, so no AD carry from one side, no support from the other one. Nice smite by inSec here, gets the Baron. And Jay's actually using a nice ulti to keep them in the Baron pit here. But Royal Club at this point, because BB is not here, he's the main damage dealer. It's just so much stronger in the fight. They can finish up here, get a few kills, get the Baron, and now they're in the driving seat.
Could have been a lot more kills there at the end as well. That exhaust really stopping them pushing through. Jay and BB actually looking for a bit of a trap here onto Cola, who's pushing this bottom lane down. No vision in the river, so it's a risky push out. They've actually pinged that bottom tower, which means that Cola is going to be alone in this bottom lane. But do they want to try and take him on? This is a pretty strong Ryze. Scrying Orb is going to go down, but Cola with Baron buff on as well is just too beefy for them. They don't want it.
It's also due to the mid lane here. If they went for the fight and it backfired, suddenly the mid tower would be gone. Maybe even the inhibitor here. So playing it safe, TPA gonna go back to their own base, sit 5 members and try and wave clear. Suddenly, Royal Club pushing up here. TPA has to wave clear.
Now the thing to watch out for is the long range Syndra stun onto Uzi. Uzi does have a Quicksilver Sash, so it's gonna have to be multiple CCs that they land on him to actually get that kill. But the first one is going to have to proc it.
Insane matchup here. And inSec is trying to get around the side of them. Gets it good, slow off, gets it with the cleaver at the same time. We see Uzi, I mean, he's Shieldville right now. He's not really scared of tanking up a couple of hits from that tower. His Quicksilver Sash as well would stop him from being in any trouble. Here is Wins coming around the back. Who are they going to go for? Into the combo. They managed to get 1 kill. Achie going low. 0 is low as well. inSec though, going to be focused. He pops the ultimate. Will get the stealth. Jumps away as well. But Achie is chasing like a madman. But TPA, they're going straight up the mid lane. Royal Club need to react to this one.
Uzi right now was doing the Brave Camp. He's recall now. It's way too late. Morning.
That's going to be an
pushing up.
Oh my god, TPA moving through the base. Achie can tank this one all day long with that Thornnail in there. Ace in the hole will come through. Big fat Mundo tanks that one up. They get the stun onto Cola. The tower goes down. TPA here trying to turn it back around. What can they do? inSec off to the side, doesn't follow up.
Again, they don't have that hard engage. They can't trap you and force a fight. Even though they have Baron buff, Still another 15 or so seconds left on Corn, so it's going to be a pretty easy escape for
They need to
TPA.
get fast here.
They can get a tower.
They're recalling, and Royal Club just pushing straight down this middle lane. We've already seen the Uzi not scared to tank up. Zero will take some damage here as the rest of the team comes around. Inner turret on the top lane goes down to minions. The inner turret in the middle lane is picked up by Royal Club as well.
Oh! That's done. Would have been another clean pickup for TPA. Now, they did lose a turret to minions in that time, so those two were just traded turrets right there.
But the play we saw just before here, this is the reason so many teams ban Lee Sin against wins, because he's so good at flanking around and setting up the entire fight, to be honest. He walked in there, managed to kick Corn back. He didn't try and flash the kick. There was no hourglass either. Easy pickup for TPA, pushed it in. Open inhibitor now here. Beautiful play by Winston, really showing why his Lee Sin is so respected.
This is going to be a trap for TPA. Can they lure Royal Club into it? For now, you'd have to say, no way. Royal Club staying away from that one. And look at this, TPA actually coming to try and close in onto inSec. They've got a lot of vision on the top side of the map. They see both Uzi and Zero in the base, thanks to the ward that they left behind earlier on. Well, inSec really trying to start these plays off, always flanking in from the side. Now he has the ball on him. We said it before, it's kind of obvious, even if you can't see him, when the entire team's running towards you and inSec isn't spotted, but they've at least forced TPA back for now.
Really risky by bebe here to not actually get a defensive item as his last item, because TPA is playing a setup here where it's all about Morning and bebe to do the damage, so you know who Royal Club is going to try and focus here. And if inSec comes in there, followed up by Corn with the Rune Prison, then bebe will die instantly, because there's no defensive items. He's going towards the plate of the Rune King.
He's got to rely on Janna and the kickback from Lee Sin. If he's not protected, then everything is lost anyway. They have to have him as a pure damage source here, because Mundo's not going to be doing the damage. Lee Sin's not going to be doing the damage late game. They really need to squeeze it out of somewhere. So this is up to bebe's late play. And, you know, this is what the team has relied on. Him in the late game with the big plays.
And a wise man once said that offense is the best defense. We'll see if that actually comes to be true here. As once again, inSec trying to get it right. Taking half of inSec's health away. That was insane damage coming out of bebe. And inSec realizing he can't keep doing that without the help of his team. And again, we see Royal Club, they're forced onto the side of the map. TPA going up middle towards the inhib.
This is actually going to be inhib, but the rest of Royal Club, they're running towards the base here. They want to maybe try and fight.
Oh, speeding
Cola has flash. They can force that.
Coming in. There it is. They're going towards Morning. Tidal wave from the side. Morning going to go down. It's Corn that gets the kill. Can they get any more? Uzi trying to get in the damage on towards Achie. He's got his ultimate running and will try and back away. It's a 60-second spawn timing here for Morning. And Royal Club have 30 seconds until the Baron comes up as well. They should be able to turn and get that, if not an inhib turret of their own. Are you guys still with me?
Yes, we are. We are here.
I know it's a great game, but we got two analysts on this one. You've got to help me out here. But Royal Club pushing forward. Turrets being hammered away on. It looks like that's it for now. Baron is coming up in 5. That's what Royal Club are going for.
They should easily be able to get this one, because as you said, the discrepancy in revive timers there is going to be way too much. So another Baron for Royal Club, but they are also going to have to worry about getting back to defend the inhibitor here. Winn's going for the solo steal?
Oh, he's too late, and he's going to die for it as well. And that could be real bad news. Corn is actually recalling here, so no push just yet for Royal Club.
Right, didn't even have to care about the inhibitor or the possible chance of TPA pushing. I mean, we had bebe doing red buff, and of course Morning was still dead here, so it would have been a very risky play by TPA if they actually pushed up the mid lane. So another Baron here for Royal Club. And funny enough, go 20 minutes back, and suddenly, we were talking about how TPA, they were so far ahead here, just pushing up the lanes. Could they actually close out the game? The answer is no, they couldn't. And all of a sudden, Royal Club, heading gold, got a Baron buff.
Thing is, Royal Club, they had to use that Ryze flash to get the catch onto Morning, and it definitely paid off for them. They won't have the flash for a long time, but now they have the Baron buff, and they need to make this Baron buff count. Let's see how well the siege will go, because they do have to be careful about warding up behind them. They don't want Wins to pull off another one of those Lee Sin plays.
That top inner turret has got a big wave pushing through. Royal Club gonna join into it. Teleport's available for Cola as well, who's in the base right now, so he'll be able to join in. I think wisely here, the Taipei Assassins decide to leave it.
Notice what Cola is doing. He's just sitting and waiting. He has home guard already on his boot, so he wants to teleport in. That's going to be the engage. Not flashing in with Ryze, just home guard, and you run straight in against TPA, land the Rune Prison, and then you can start a fight. Now he's actually moving out because they got to push all the way down to the base. And here's the teleport. No home guard this time.
Teleport coming into it, and Cola will simply just join the party from this one. What's the next option for them? Waves in the top lane and in the mid lane too are going to be bearing down onto those inhibitor turrets, but Royal Club want to go on this top inhibitor turret. There's the Cully coming through! He's mastered the damage onto Uzi. There is a tidal wave together, disengaging. And the Royal Club once again being shocked by the amount of damage coming their way, have to back off.
This is the point that's extremely exciting in the game, where everybody's getting to their max item builds. And I love the fact that not only has bebe built full damage, but we have Uzi as well. So full damage, both AD carries, which means, yes, if one of them is out of position, then everybody has to spend all of the defensive ultimates to make sure their AD carry does not go down. That is the key to these fights, protecting the AD carries.
Look down this bottom lane here. Massive wave being built up by Royal Club, pushing in. As long as they keep TPA here, they might be able to move down and push in and get some damage in the bottom lane with this big wave coming. They're moving down now, but so is the rest of TPA.
Look at that graph there as well. TPA had such a control on this game for such a long time. And finally, Royal Club swinging it now in their favor. They're even pushing onto the steps in the bottom lane. Mid lane's pushed way up. Finally, that top lane has gone back a little bit for the Taipei Assassins to give them a bit of a breather on that front. There's a stun onto Korn. No follow-up just yet. Kohler actually going in. Bit of damage towards Achie. Once again, the Cullen being thrown out defensively, trying to keep them off the tower.
Keep your eyes on the ball here. It's going to be about the shockwave and about the Syndra stun. Who's going to hit the highest priority target first?
Achie going to be focused there a little bit. He's down to less than half HP. He might have to pop that ultimate here. Of course, has massive regen even without that one. inSec hit with the Q, but Wynn's not looking for the play just yet. The Baron buff is still on for Royal Club at this point. So they're feeling good, even if they take a bit of damage. 0 down to half. Gets hit with the stun at max range from Morning.
But it's so hard for Royal Club to push in here when you're against Lucian and Syndra to do wave. They're here.
They're going to bebe. There's the Monsoon coming out. There is inSec down to half HP. Ulti comes through. It's not enough damage though. This could be the game right here. Jay is low. Cola trying to get in to finish them. Good Howling Gale will stop him chasing. But that is the inhibitor turret. Gonna be focused. They're all at half HP though. It's dangerous to stay. Korn gets hit by the stun. They do stay and they do get the tower. But their health is back with TPA. Are they going to go for this one?
With bebe being down, there's not a whole lot of threat here. Royal Club can easily get this inhibitor. You had to see, though, they waited so long. They had to wait for the full duration of the flash from Cola to come back up from last time they were able to make a move. But it does. He decides to take it, and they're immediately rewarded with an inhibitor going down. Finally, inhibitor destroyed here. That is going to change the entire face of this game because they have pressure bottom. They can go up the top with Caitlyn, take down a quick turret. Cola goes right in. He sees that open line for bebe and takes it. The key damage source taken out from TPA.
And it's just such a perfect setup because he flashes him with the Rune Prison just as the ulti from Uzi is actually fired to get the extra damage, kills him instantly, and it's all about bebe in these late game team fights. If he's gone, there's no damage. And again, yeah, he needs to build a full damage, but it's just so risky and so hard for him in these fights. One mistake and he goes down. The fight is lost by TPA.
Less than 2 minutes until another Baron comes into play as Cola just wipes out that big wave on the top side. If we look down the farm, there's some ridiculous numbers on the scoreboard. I mean, we're 53 minutes into this one. There's over 500 CS on both of the AD carries at this stage. Insane game. As TPA once again, they're setting up a trap. Royal Club don't know they're there. As inSec, Guardian Angel, there's a Howling Gale coming through, but everything missed. Everything missed there. Wins takes the ace in the hole. They're going to back off.
Look at those shields on Uzi too. Talk about defenses. He's got a support and a sort of support mid laner on his team, so he's feeling a bit safer. Bottom lane pressure is being soaked up by Achie right now, and he doesn't have that far to walk to join this fight. Let's see if bebe can stay safe this time around on the tower defense. He's cleared one super minion wave down there, so Achie can come up for a brief second. It's up again, though, for Royal Club to force this. This time, though, no flash for Ryze. Shockwave will be more important.
We just have to say it. I mean, Royal Club has been able to outscale TPA in this game with their comp, and now going in for the fight.
Oh, he kicks him, but not right into the team. Wind's going low here. Kohler actually going to be the focus to get Achie. Monsoon goes down. I think Royal Club have done enough to get the tower. They do. inSec is in the middle of the team. They still have a Shockwave. An ace in the hole is used as well, and that is going to be inhibitor number 2 going down. inSec the focus. He will leap away, and I think they've done enough to escape this one. TPA not going to chase.
And Baron is spawning in about 10 seconds here. You have 2 inhibitors down. Go back, heal up, take the Baron, and go towards the top lane. Get the last tower down, get the last inhibitor as well. Things are looking very, very good for Royal Club here. Looking very strong with the late game comp. And it's been all about TPA not being able to close this game out. I mean, they had 2 options here. You fully bait the Baron early on. You put all your effort into denying vision in the jungle, in the top side of the jungle. You get a pick with the Syndra, which is perfect for it. Or you just keep pressuring every single lane like they did. bebe was a lot stronger than Lucian.
They're committing to this. Teleport comes in. They're going to trap him inside.
Wind's going to move into that one. Oh, he doesn't get it. It's Royal Club. They get the Baron, but there is a Cully going through. They're smashing them in the back of the Baron pit. But there's the Shockwave. It gets Jay. 2 for 1 up until now. But it's a double for Uzi. inSec gets another one. This is going to be an ace in the hole. Doesn't quite get them the ace, though, in the end. Archie's going to run away, and it leaves 2 versus 1 left on the map. Baron going over to Royal Club. inSec's not going to be able to get a kill there, but another insane fight.
And with Uzi still up, that means they can still destroy some buildings here. This might even be the game for Royal Club. They can press in. They've got super minions, top turrets under pressure. They're going to try and end it.
Achie got to be the boss here with that big tanky Mundo. And he hold them away from it. Super minions coming in, inhibiting the bottom lane. Is going to go down once again. His next teammate is arriving in 25 seconds time here. He will have 2 of them coming up pretty quick, but Royal Club are focusing in on towards those turrets. There is the first one going down. Second one will be shredded as well. Achie will actually fall in the end with all those minions and the 2 men left alive. And Royal Club, after 56.5 minutes, win their first game here at Worlds.
Such a great comeback here by Royal, and it's funny how when we see Royal normally play in the LPL, they're not really a team to come back once they do fall behind, but this time around, a bit of a different comp. Kohler and Ryze for the first time, at least from the first time I remember, and they just managed to keep defending. Baron never went in favor of TPA. Every single time they tried to start it, Zero was there, warded it. The rest of Royal Club was there to stop the potential Baron, and just sat and farmed and farmed and farmed. Then we got to late game team fights. They had a stronger late game comp, and it paid off.
Yeah, TPA did a great job of getting their early and mid game control of the game, but they didn't do much with their control of the game, and eventually they fell to the curse of the 2 damage source composition, only bringing AD carry and AP carry really for the late game damage. Fall out, and they just couldn't hang.
Going by the broadcast, we've really expected of